Newly released documents show that Jeffrey Epstein purchased 330 gallons of sulfuric acid for his private island on the very same day the FBI opened its investigation into him. Receipts and internal emails indicate that 6 55-gallon drums of the corrosive chemical were delivered to Little St. James on June 12, 2018. The shipment cost more than $4,000, and the timing, coinciding with the launch of the federal probe into Epstein's alleged sex trafficking operation, has fueled intense online speculation. The request form, buried within millions of files released January 30th, listed, quote, 6 55-gallon drums sulfuric acid with fuel and insurance charge for transport, materials for conductivity probes, replacement pH and cable, RO plant, LSJ. RO refers to reverse osmosis, a system commonly used to purify drinking water. Emails contained elsewhere in the files, including exchanges dating back to 2013, suggest the sulfuric acid was used as part of that water purification system on the island. Despite the documentation referencing water treatment equipment, the timing of the purchase triggered widespread speculation online. Some social media users claimed, without evidence, that sulfuric acid could be used to destroy evidence or even dissolve human remains. However, the files themselves provide no indication of criminal use tied to the chemical purchase. Sulfuric acid is routinely used in reverse osmosis systems to regulate pH levels, soften water, and improve filtration efficiency. No other stated purpose for the chemical appears in the records. Epstein, who was already a registered sex offender after a prior conviction, died in 2019 in a New York jail cell while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. The release of these documents has renewed scrutiny over activity on Little St. James, including previously reported footage showing Epstein chasing young women inside the property. But as for the acid purchase itself, the documents revealed the timing, not proof of criminal use. These revelations come as fresh controversy erupts around the death of the disgraced financier, after a doctor who observed his post-mortem examination said the death case deserves to be reopened.
Fresh controversy is erupting around the death of disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein after a doctor who observed his post-mortem examination said the death case deserves to be reopened. Pathologist Michael Baden, who attended the 2019 autopsy as a representative of Epstein's estate, now says the official explanation of suicide does not fully align with the medical evidence. Speaking to The Telegraph, Baden argued that the injuries were more consistent with strangulation pressure than hanging, reigniting one of the most disputed deaths in modern criminal history. Michael Baden stresses he did not perform the autopsy himself, but observed the examination and reviewed the findings in detail. According to his comments reported by The Telegraph, he believes the information available at the time was insufficient to reach a final conclusion. He says both he and the original examiner agreed more data was needed before declaring the manner of death. Despite that, the case was later officially ruled a suicide while Epstein was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges, a decision that has remained controversial ever since. The debate has intensified following massive document releases tied to the United States Department of Justice investigation into Epstein's network. Among the materials is surveillance footage from the night he died inside his jail cell. Observers quickly noticed what appears to be a missing minute in the video timeline, a gap that conspiracy theorists argue could represent a critical window. While officials have dismissed sinister interpretations, the missing segment continues to fuel suspicion online. Another clip from the same night shows an orange object moving near Epstein's cell, which some internet investigators have speculated could be a person in prison clothing. Authorities have never confirmed that interpretation, but the imagery has circulated widely, keeping public attention fixed on the circumstances of his death. Michael Baden maintains that unanswered questions like these justify a renewed forensic review, especially given the global impact of the Epstein case. A redacted version of the post-mortem report released months later added more intrigue. In the document, Epstein's manner of death was initially marked as pending, with neither suicide nor homicide boxes checked. Baden says his own professional findings at the time were inconclusive. He claims the final ruling was later determined by New York's chief medical examiner, who was not present during the autopsy itself, a detail he argues should prompt closer scrutiny. That examiner, former New York Chief Medical Officer Barbara Sampson, has firmly rejected Baden's interpretation. She publicly stated she stands by her conclusion that Epstein died by hanging and that the manner of death was suicide. The clash between two high-profile forensic voices has turned the case into a long-running medical and legal standoff, one that continues to divide experts. Since Epstein's death in August 2019, the release of millions of investigative files has kept the scandal alive in public memory. Each new batch of records revives debate over how such a high-profile inmate died under federal supervision. Legal commentators note that the combination of celebrity connections, sealed documents, and jailhouse failures created a perfect storm for enduring suspicion. Michael Baden insists his position is not about conspiracy, but about scientific certainty. He argues that when a death carries this level of public consequence, ambiguity should not remain. Whether authorities will ever reopen the case is unclear, but his renewed call ensures that the Epstein death investigation, years later, remains one of the most contested forensic cases in recent history.